The board of the National Association of Securities Dealers PLC, the exchange responsible for trading unlisted securities in Nigeria, held its 10th annual general meeting in Lagos. It was an opportunity for the board and shareholders to review the 2022 financial year performance and the prospects for the 2023 and beyond. The external audit reports by the KPMG and Statutory Audit Committee affirmed that the NASD Plc kept proper books of accounts in alignment with the IFRS, IASB, and regulatory standards.
We have audited the financial statement of NASD Plc Company, which comprised the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022, the statement of comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity, the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as at 31st December 2022 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS standard as issued by the International Accounting Standard Board and in the manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirement of Schedule 5 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, we have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of account have been kept by the company so far as appears from our examination of those books. The company's statement of financial position and statement of comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of account. Signed by myself, Ikoyi, on behalf of KPMG.
We have exercised our statutory function under Section 404 sub 7 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020, and we acknowledge the cooperation of the management in the conduct of this function. We are of the opinion that the accounting and reporting policies of the company are in accordance with the legal requirement and agreed ethical practice. The scopes and planning of both the external and internal audit program for the year ended 31st December 2022 were satisfactory and reinforced the company internal control system. Having reviewed the external auditor's finding and recommendation on the management matters and deliberated with the external auditors, we confirm that they receive management cooperation in the course of their audit. We are satisfied with management response to the management letters on the audit of the financial statement of the company. Signed, my name Kasim Garba Kurfi, on behalf of the other members, Mr. Nona Awo, Ms. Fiona Ahime, Mr. Abubakar Lawal, Mr. Aiboj Ike Umokode. Thank you.
Some of the shareholders who spoke at the event inquired on the steps taken by the exchange to provide liquidity in the OTC markets.
I want to start with our motto, creating liquidity transparently. I find it, in my experience, if you compare NGS and NASD is not as liquid as NGS. So what are we doing to create this liquidity?
One thing I want to ask here this morning, because I can hear from some shareholders here, it's like most shareholders here do not really know what that word NASD really means. I think somebody on the board can please tell us NASD. What does those acronyms stand for going forward?
In his response, the chairman of the board, Mr. Olutola Mobolurin, explained how the NASD is strategizing to unlock liquidity and increase market opportunities.
When we started, it's a novel platform for Nigeria, and of course, we've had challenges, And those challenges have been sometimes self-inflicted. We chose a platform that was too expensive because we expected larger volumes than we got. So we had to, and I know at that time we were a limited liability company. We then had to convert to a PLC and recapitalize. So our first capital was virtually consumed by the amount that we paid for the trading platform that we used in the first instance, which was the same platform we were sharing with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So that consumed most of our capital. So we had to recapitalize. And we got our own platform, which is more affordable, more in tune with the volume that we have experienced. Now, the over-the-counter market it's taken a while for it to take off. And you remember that, when this over-the-counter market was planned, it was planned as one single market to cater to all securities. However, CBN and the banks decided that they would take over the debt market, not only from a platform like us, but also from the NGX. Part of the problem of NGX, of course, was also self-inflicted. But with the support of CBN, most of the securities that could have come to the over-the-counter market went to the platform supported by Central Bank and the banks, which is the FMDQ. So that reduced the volumes of securities that we can trade. That's number one. Number two, the PFAs were not allowed to invest on our platform. We are trying to rectify that. It's been a long haul, but we are nearly there. That also may explain some of the liquidity issues we are talking about, at least for those who want to sell. The advantage of this market is to ensure that every PLC or every shareholder in every PLC is able to sell his shares in a market where the price will be discovered on a fair and open, transparent basis. Before this market, what used to happen was that the PLCs that existed in the market that were not listed were at the mercy of the company secretaries and the directors. When there is demand for the shares, they will tell the shareholders, oh, the market is bad, but we have a director who is interested. He will pay this price. The motivating factor for creating the OTC was to end such abuse and to give the investing public who invest in companies that are PLCs the opportunity to go to the market and sell or buy at prices that are market determined, not determined by a director or the company secretary.
Highlight of the day was the announcement by Mr. Olutola Mobolurin that he will be stepping down as the chairman of the NASD Plc after the shareholders' vote and over a decade of service dedicated to developing the over-the-counter market.
At the board meeting earlier today, I resigned my position as chairman of the board, effective from the end of this AGM. A new chairman, Mr. Kayode Falowo, has been elected at the board meeting. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Mr. Eguarekhide Longe, the MD CEO of the NASD Plc, speaks on the 2022 financial performance and some developing issues in the market and economy.
Financial reports, we didn't make a profit last year. there were some one-off provisions that we needed to make for Pioneer payments for the Pioneer management team. So we did have I think it was a loss of 79 million, which we are working very actively to recover in 2023. Our targets, like mentioned just now, is to see that we can overwrite the retained losses and put ourselves in a position to consider.
Tell us about something that was raised today. Liquidity is very critical in the market, and we've heard talks about PFAs investing. That's one way that can really unlock liquidity. Tell us your engagement so far with the PFAs, and when should we expect the PFAs and other key players to come on board?
Well, liquidity is beyond just PFAs. The PFAs are the most significant institutional investor block in the market, so they are significant to us. We've run this company for over 10 years without the major institutional capital. So we've engaged with the PFAs. We have reached a good point, and we think that before the end of this year, we would see the PFAs participating in the market.
The exit of Mr. Olutola Mobolurin as chairman and Mr. Chike Nwaze and Mr. Oladipo Aino as directors respectively from the NASD board marks a new shift for the exchange. It is expected that the new board chairman, Mr. Kayode Falowo, and the new directors will work to ensure that NASD Plc sustains a momentum of driving a dynamic and innovative OTC market and explore new vista of opportunities for unlocking liquidity in sectors like the automotive industry, logistics, creative industry, and energy, amongst others.